Girls makes me lonely. There's so much of no one is fat, and he was a dick for saying that, and she was a bitch for not listening to you better. Looking at pictures makes me lonely too. That time that we were G-chatting, but I was also crying, looking at pictures of Eric dancing with his friend's mom at a wedding. Someone asked me at a poetry reading how I got so comfortable talking in between poems. And I said that once I went to see some musicians perform for a birthday. Even when they were playing beautiful Chopin, they offered something extra, like a little physical comedy routine built around the playing of the piece. I said that since then I've wanted to give people who come see poetry a little something extra, and me blabbering is all I've ever had to give or to keep or to be with on my own. There's really very little art in that. You'll never hear me say it's noble. Or if it is noble, it's just because it isn't fun to show everyone how little you have or how little you are. But no one has much, and no one is much, and everyone should know that we share that. Holy people. After a very bad thing happens, it may feel like you will never call your mother back. The bathroom was quiet and well lit, and you hid there. It's not that anyone was being unkind, it's just that it had been hours of talking without intensity or connection. Newspaper articles are beginning to discuss what it means to hide in bathrooms. Hiding because someone insulted you at a faculty meeting is different than hiding because there's been too much talk and too little of everything else. When you wake up, that's when the mosquito begins. You might be a holy person. Holy people never feel at home, so they make trouble for everyone while looking exhausted. In any case, I hope you'll come outside soon. Mostly, you have to stop worshiping the idea of you being horrible. I like you better than almost anyone, and the fact that you don't agree with me that you're worth something hurts my feelings. I've never had to tell you why we write. You always seemed to know it. But I guess there are other things you think you know, and it's not really up to me to change your mind. But I still tried, didn't I? A prehistoric woman with swinging breasts, banging and banging on a coconut. Empty movie theater. There are days where everything you think you are decides to cool it. Sometimes you tell your friend to take you to the suburbs so you can experience his dog and his house and his parents who come home in time to meet you and order a pizza. Other days you just want a vibrating cock ring and a friend who will forgive every sappy, desperate thing you say while you're inside her. You want to go to your college friend's wedding, but there are going to be too many people there who don't want to see you, and nobody will be able to act normally. They are artistic and extremely intelligent, living their lives with enough self-awareness to electrocute a pig and enough self-loathing to desiccate all the fat and muscle of Japan's most shiny, swollen sumo wrestler. If you think there's no one else more like a blister, I ask you to consider the mental and emotional counterpart to the swollen sumo body. And now we're back in Houston, Texas, with the writers. Everyone drunk. Everyone being all the funny that smart allows. You remember meeting them and thinking you'd found what your stepmother would call your tribe. Tribes are funny things. Sometimes it's the person who never shares the meat he's caught, who's called a witch and sent away to starve. And sometimes it's the king who wasn't able to keep his promises. Some tribes hate braggarts the most, and some tribes hate the man who only knows one joke, or always tells the same story of the same girl who loved him immediately, gave him happiness, and never became any less wonderful. You have to wonder sometimes how any tribe survives as many of its own as it sends away. The answer? Most tribes have a holy man who keep a basket, and inside that basket is every sound the exiled make while stepping on a stone in the night or being frightened by a tree branch. The tribespeople are kept company by these noises and, after listening, often feel as if they've eaten a large meal.